Hello, my name is Wendy Myers. Thank you so much for joining me on the Live to 110 podcast. I'm really excited today. We're going to be talking about weight loss with Kerry Tepedino. I know a lot of you guys are struggling with weight and struggling with emotional and physical issues in relation to weight. And this talk is part of my Medicinal Supplement Summit. Kerry was one of the 15 bonus speakers on the summit, and I did about 50 interviews for the summit, and you can learn more at medicinalsupplementsummit.com. You can still purchase all of the talks if you want to get an amazing education on supplements and how to supplement properly. Today on the show, we're going to be talking about the importance of mindset in weight loss, how supplements can help with weight loss as well, and choosing the right ones. There's ones that you should definitely avoid, and the many factors that you need to address when losing weight. Please keep in mind that this podcast is solely informational in nature. It is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease or health condition. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your healthcare practitioner before engaging in anything that we suggest today on the show. Thank you so much for listening and enjoy today's talk from my Medicinal Supplement Summit. Kerry Tepedino is an internationally recognized holistic health practitioner, certified counselor of nutrition, and craniosacral therapist. She is also the founder and host of the widely acclaimed Global Health Summit that I spoke on as well, bringing together world-renowned masters of health and mindset, causing transformation in thousands worldwide. Having grown a successful private practice in Southern California over the past 11 years, she has expanded her work to a global market through media, writing, speaking, products, books, and private and group coaching. Kerry's personal experience of recovering from an eating disorder and low self-esteem led her to master holistic living and create a peaceful mindset, which she now helps others to master. Her unique approach of shattering the toxic conversations in one's head has resulted in her clients breaking addictions, losing weight, increasing energy, and relieving stress so that they can finally have the life and health that they deserve. Kerry speaks often on live and virtual stages and has been interviewed on NBC, keynoted at San Diego State University, taught at Whole Foods, and writes for the Huffington Post and more. For more information and start your 7-day weight loss video series for free, visit her at kerrytepedino.com. Kerry, thank you so much for joining us on the summit.
And thank you so much for having me. I've been really looking forward to today.
Yes, it was so great meeting you at JJ Virgin's Mindshare Summit in San Diego. And that was just such a fulfilling experience to meet all these other health entrepreneurs that are in the same industry as us.
I know. And it's fun, as you and I were just talking right before we started this interview. It's so fun because a lot of us have worked together before and we've collaborated and supported each other. And to see each other in person and that energy of having us all in one place it put another spin to it. It was really nice. It was cool.
And it's such a wonderful lesson about the power of community, because for you and for myself, it's so important to get our message about health out into the world. And these kind of summits help us to help you listeners to, just improve your health and your life and your weight.
Right. Yes, definitely. And it's all connected, right? So you, I'm sure, have other experts on this summit that are specializing in something else, maybe the cardiovascular system, maybe the endocrine system, maybe, different things. But when you really come down to it, when you boil it all down, we're holistic beings. And so one thing, like if you have digestive issues, that could be affecting your weight. And if your weight could be affecting your cardiovascular system, so it's all tied together. So what our approach over here at kerrytepedino.com is to really take a holistic approach where you're not just zooming in on one thing, but you're looking at even mindset, emotional mastery, your relationship to yourself, and then marrying it to the science aspect, the nutrition, the exercise, detoxing, supplementation, because I just haven't found that if you do one if you focus in on only one thing, then I haven't seen a lot of people get long-term success. It really is, what I have noticed is it's really a holistic approach. It's the full picture.
Yeah, so tell us about yourself. Why are you so passionate about the work that you're doing and helping people to lose weight?
Yeah, so I myself, like many of us who go into the health industry, I'm driven by my passion for this because I myself had a really dark chapter with my own health, and I was overweight. I had an eating addiction. I had a body image disorder. I didn't feel good about who I was, and I'm a smart girl, so it's not like I didn't know what to do. It's just that the follow through was lacking because the self-esteem, the self-love, the confidence was lacking, and I didn't have my mindset where it really needed to be, and it was hard. It was a really hard way to live, and it was painful. And, for myself personally, I was a binge purger, so I was bulimic. I went through states where I could, I guess, probably be classified as anorexic at certain points because I was so controlling and consumed with calories and weighing my food and all of that stuff. Sometimes I over-exercise. Oh, gosh, I can't believe I had the birthday cake. I'm going to exercise 2 hours tomorrow. So I went through different stages with all of that. And it got to a point where I really came to a moment, there were a few defining moments where I really had to have a serious talk with myself where I had to say, okay, either you stop what you're doing and you decide to heal and change, or you keep doing this, but you are literally slowly killing yourself. Because I remember one time I had just binged and purged. And so what that means is I had thrown up all the food I had just eaten, and my heart was just racing because, of course, my electrolytes were imbalanced, right? And it was a scary moment for me because I realized that I was affecting my body in a much deeper way than just, oh, let me eat some food and then throw it up. It was something that was starting to really have an effect on my organs, on my how my body functioned. And it was a wake up call. And so I really dove into healing. I dove into the holistic approach, using food for medicinal purposes, supporting my body with supplementation if needed. I dove into meditation. I dove into yoga. I dove into breath work. I dove into all of that to find myself. And through that, that was over 15 years ago. And through that, I'm now where I am today, thank goodness, which is happy, healthy, in love with my life. And now I help other women do the same, have that same journey and the same results. It's really exciting.
I really identify with what you're saying as well, because I suffered from bulimia for many years as well. I used to model and obsess over my weight, and I was 40 pounds lighter than I am today. At that time. But yeah, it's really one of those things where you can hate yourself into losing weight, and you can love yourself and nurture yourself into losing weight. And believe me, that second aspect of it is a lot better.
Yes.
But it takes a lot of work to get there, and you need coaching. You do. So let's talk about your health history. What's been your own history with your health, and how do you help others and coach them in weight loss?
Well, first and foremost, we always start with the mindset, because even if you have the most perfect nutrition plan, even if you have the most perfect exercise plan or supplementation protocols laid out for you, if you haven't done the mindset work, eventually most people will throw it all out the window, because life will throw them a twist. A loved one gets sick, or they lose their job, or bankruptcy, or the house needs a new roof, or the children are being unruly, or whatever. Stress is going to happen. And if you don't have the mindset in place and your relationship to yourself in place, then most people have a tendency to slide back into old or bad habits, which usually means neglecting themselves. And so we really start with that piece. So it's neuroprogramming. And it's really working with the individual to create different talk tracks in the mind so that instead of thinking to yourself all the time, oh, I'm never going to get healthy. My mom and dad were overweight. I have no hope. This is in my genes. I have such a bad sugar habit. There's no way I can get away from it. So instead of letting your mind take you down the rabbit hole, we really help women have different inner conversations. Instead of a toxic conversation inside, have a conversation of gratitude and focus. And so it sounds something more like, okay, well, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm excited that transformation is right around the corner. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get me from point A to point B because I know that I'm worth this. And I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this happen. And then from there, then we start getting into the, let's look at how your endocrine system is functioning. Let's look at how your colon health, your digestive health. We drive it down more to create supplementation protocols if needed, and then also to work on, the other aspects. What are you eating? How are you moving your body? What are you doing for yourself? Are you a martyr? Are you a victim? Are you putting everybody else before you and then saying, oh, I don't have time for me, which is really common for women, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so great because I think people get stuck in this rut with that evil devil on their shoulder speaking so negatively to them, because really people can only control their perceptions of situations and their responses to situations. And people need to learn they have control over that.
Right. We have control every single moment. And then so one thing that I'd like to say is it's not about perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. So you also have to allow yourself to have a different level of compassion and patience with yourself when you really get focused on this journey, and you will fall. I mean, we always tell when women join our programs, we say, okay, we need you to make a promise that you're not going to quit, you're not going to isolate, you're not going to compare yourself. And in the same breath, we don't expect you to do this perfectly. We know you're going to fall, but let us help you learn to fall forward, which means get the lesson when you fall so that you're never in that exact same conversation again.
Yes, because Rome was not built in a day.
Right.
It takes time. You have to practice these things. And I'm sure a lot of the listeners are curious about as a weight loss expert, what supplements that you recommend. And do you use supplementation in your practice to facilitate weight loss?
We do. For some people, we definitely do. It depends on the individual. So what we do first is we come in with using food for medicinal purposes and looking at how they're actually eating, because a lot of people don't understand that what they're eating is causing a lot of inflammation in their system, and inflammation, it has a direct influence on people's weight. So we like to really clean up all the things like on a more basic level first. And then what we like to do is we like to do a health assessment or a health evaluation with people, because you can't recommend one specific supplement for everybody. That just doesn't make sense because we're all individuals and our bodies are working differently. And so what we like to do is do a health evaluation, which has like 17 different categories. Some of those are specific to men and some are specific to women, but in general, it's 17 categories. And from that, we're able to really get a good idea for the individual. How is your colon health working? How is your digestion? Do you have issues with your pituitary, with your gallbladder, with your adrenals? Are you hypothyroid? Are you hyperthyroid? Are you swinging between the two, which is possible, which a lot of people don't realize. We really think it's important to look at all of that because, for example, there's certain supplementations that I think most people do need, which is like a really good multivitamin, some the omegas. A lot of people do really well with some digestive support. So maybe some digestive enzymes at meals. So those are kind of like staples, right? Most people need that. But then from the health evaluation, we're able to tell what else they need. Now, for example, we might have we might have one woman who does our evaluation and it's clear that she has issues going on with her blood sugar levels. And so out of like 3 different really great multivitamins that we might recommend to our clients, I would recommend a very specific one for her, which is going to help with balancing her blood sugar levels as well. Versus for another woman, she might have more of like a hormone issue. And so the multivitamin that we would recommend for her would be geared more towards that. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Are there any supplements that you regulate to control blood sugar?
We do, depending on the person, depending on what else is happening for them. But another really good thing with blood sugar levels is make sure that you're balancing them consistently. So even making sure that, I mean, a lot of people don't even understand that you can make sure to eat really good protein, a really good protein source. If you're a vegetarian, it doesn't have to be animal based, but if you are having some protein, at least every, depends on the individual, but let's say every 3 to 4 hours ish, that can even create some really good results for people. Because what happens for a lot of people is they go too long without eating, or they're not eating properly. And then that's when they're getting the swings, the massive swings oftentimes. But for us, we do have, I tend to use a line within our programs. We use a line called Biotics Research. They're physician grade, but they're food-based, science-based. And so we really, some supplements, I'll just say, you could probably get this at your local health food store, but a lot of them we like to do through Biotics because I've met some of the formulators. I work very closely with one of the gentlemen over there, and they're just, they're just superb. I think they're superb.
They're a phenomenal line. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. That being said, you shouldn't just go order from a third party on Amazon or something. It's really important that you get, when you're adding in supplementation in general, it's important to be under the guidance of a healthcare professional, whether that's a holistic health practitioner or, somebody else that you're working with, instead of just ordering them from a third party, because it's important that you're getting what you really need. Again, like we work on, and we look at the individual. And another thing is we've had people go and order just from Amazon from a third party. Number one, you can't always guarantee the freshness, of the product. So we always have our clients order straight from the Southern California headquarters, because I know what the freshness is there. I can guarantee that. It's not like they're trying to, some third party distributors are just buying up supplementation that's about to expire and then wanting to flip it, wanting to sell it quickly and make a profit. So I always think it's very important to order straight from headquarters to guarantee the freshness. And like I've had a client I had 2 clients over the years that ordered from a third party distributor and then had a problem with them. And there was nothing that I could do because I couldn't help them with the order because it wasn't from headquarters. So we're just really clear with anybody that we're working with. We want to make sure that they're getting the proper support around any supplementation that they're adding into their routines, because it's not a one size fits all recipe. It's just not. And then also making sure that the quality of the supplements is really good. And so that's how we work with our clients with that. Because as you know, Wend, it's like, the quality of the supplements, like sometimes people are using supplementation and the quality is so bad, they're not going to get the support anyways. And it's just like money going down the toilet,
Absolutely. It's crazy how cheap supplements or some brands have these binders that prevent them from absorbing. They just run right through you.
Right. Right, definitely. So, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands of brands out there for supplementation. So what I would say is always make sure you're doing your research, everyone. Make sure you're doing your research on the brand. If it's something a little more in depth than just adding something basic into your routine, then I would say make sure you're under, the guidance of a healthcare practitioner. Make sure that you're getting what you need and don't just go by, the next fad supplement that you see on any TV show or on the internet or something like that.
So how can some of these supplements that you're using with your clients help in weight loss? Can you give us some specific examples of perhaps
Absolutely.
how supplements help with the thyroid or the adrenals or detox or and these how they facilitate weight loss?
Yes, absolutely. So a lot of the women who come to us actually do have thyroid issues. So I can say something to that quickly, but then I also really want to talk about the digestive system because a lot of people don't understand how important that is. So in regards to thyroid, what we do is so some really common ways to symptoms to look for if you think you might have a thyroid issue. So the thyroid is helping to regulate the metabolism. And so let's say you're hypothyroid. Like I was extremely hypothyroid quite a few years ago, and which means that my metabolism was running slower, my hair was thinning, I easily gained weight, I was always very tired, and I was moody, like more like a depressed, like I was like down moody. And so I figured out that it was my thyroid, and with labs across the US, their markers are different for every lab. So it can be a little confusing. So I don't want to say specific numbers, but my lab showed I was twice the levels I should be with my thyroid, which means I was very hypothyroid. I wasn't Hashimoto's, but I was very hypothyroid. And so what I did was I shifted my nutrition, I shifted my exercise, I made lifestyle changes, and then I added in supplements that were like, they were like food for my thyroid, is a good way to say it in layman's terms. They were like food for my thyroid. They nourished my thyroid. And I did that for, it depends on the level of hypothyroidism or what you're working with. Sometimes it's so extreme that it could take a full year or more to help balance out. Sometimes it's 6 months. For me, it was a matter of maybe like 2 or 3 months that I started to feel better, but then I think I was fully myself again within 6 months. And then I put myself on like a maintenance plan, which I did even when I was pregnant. I kept that one up. So that's a great example for thyroid. And so there's different levels to protocols oftentimes. Like when you go in the beginning, it might like my thyroid needed to be more heavily addressed. And then as it healed, because I honestly believe the body can heal itself of pretty much anything with given the right support and strategies. So as it healed, then I shifted my protocol, which is why it's really important to be working with a holistic health practitioner or someone like that. I shifted my protocol and I moved myself into a maintenance plan. Okay. For the digestive system, a lot of people, like, you might get instant bloating after you eat or gas, or you're not really, like, you just can tell that your body is inflamed after you're eating food, and it might happen all the time. A lot of people don't understand that could actually be your stomach acid levels. It's called hydrochloric acid. But depending on where your stomach acid levels are, if they're too low, you might actually, so they could be too high or they could be too low. But if they're low, then what can be happening is you're not breaking down and assimilating the food that you're eating. So then it's just sitting in your system. It's basically fermenting and becoming toxic, and it's contributing to your weight. So, and if it's too low for too long, it can create off-gassing, which pushes the valve that is going up into your esophagus, the pressure will, and then your stomach acid kind of splashes up, and that's when people get heartburn. They might have a little bit of like they might eat and then feel like that burning sensation in their throat. And a lot of, the antacid business is a billion dollar business. Of course, they don't want you to understand that your body can basically heal itself of this, because they want you on prescription meds forever, right? But if you have the proper supplementation protocol, then what can happen is you assist your body in healing itself of that, because it truly can heal itself of that. And then as your body's healing, weight's starting to melt off, you're starting to get more energy, you're getting an oomph back in your step, you're excited about your life again, you want to connect with people, you don't want to isolate and hide, you want to deepen into your relationships, you're attracting more money because you're happy, you're confident. I mean, it's just like this domino effect. And that's why we say, this really is about addressing the whole person. The whole person. I know I'm just talking. You could tell I get so passionate about this.
No, I know. And it's just one of those things, like there's so many different aspects to weight loss that I think people, they don't know where to start. That's why they need to work with a health practitioner to help them go through the steps, A, B, C, D, supplements, food sensitivities, mindset, digestion, thyroid, and there's just so many different aspects to it. And each person has to be able to figure out what that is, what their roadblocks are.
Yes. And I'm really glad you said that, because it can be overwhelming. And so what happens for some people is if they get overwhelmed, they go into paralysis, right? They stagnate and quit. And so for all of our friends here who are listening to this call, my suggestion to you is to pick one step, even from this call. Pick one action item and commit to doing something with it within the next 24 hours. So you're not that 95% of the population that gets great information and does nothing with it. Don't be that person. Otherwise, what will happen is you'll be on this same call a year from now, getting or a similar call a year from now, getting great information, and you'll look back and you'll be upset and you'll be like, wow, if only I had changed that then, where would I be now? So it's really important. If you have the tendency to get overwhelmed, the best thing that you can do is get a trusted resource, whether that's myself, whether that's Wendy, whether that's somebody else on this summit, but really hook up with a trusted resource that can help map out a very clear plan for you. So according to your individual needs, so that you don't keep spinning. I cannot emphasize that enough.
Yeah, you want to be that other 90% that is taking action and setting goals and, taking action with your weight loss, because it is so easy. I've been there myself where I just give up and you have the ice cream and you have an emotional setback or stress and you say, forget it. I'm just going to do what I want.
Right. And that hurts you each time, because what it does is it's a level of breaking trust in yourself and confidence in yourself. And what it does is it reaffirms, see, I'm not good enough. See, I can't do it. See, this is too hard for me. And a lot of people do that. But when you get your body balanced and healthy and you start to pick up speed, you feel good, you're picking up momentum, and then you have the mindset in place and the emotional mastery. So whatever happens in your life, you don't go to the Ben and Jerry's. When you get that stuff in place, then those moments of stress that come up, you learn to decharge them. And so stress never takes you sideways again. Or if it does, it's like, for a day at most, and then you recalibrate yourself and you get yourself back on track.
And do you do any kind of a detox to facilitate weight loss, or have any aspect of detox to facilitate weight loss?
We do detoxes. We move away from saying it's for weight loss. Weight loss can definitely occur because of it, but we really focus on, let's do this because it's going to help you be the most vibrant, vital, alive, healthy you. And so according to the Ayurvedic system, which is the ancient Indian system, they say what's really good is to detox with the changing of the seasons. And so I love that. Like, to do a kickstart for your body with the changing of the seasons is great. And then what I recommend for our clients is once or twice a year, they do something deeper where it cleans out parasites, metals. It really works with the allergens. It helps balance all of that, takes down the inflammation. And at least once a year, it's good to do a deeper one like that. Even if you're really careful and you're eating organic and you're doing all the right things, there's just no way, living in our world today, there's no way that you're not coming into contact with toxicity or toxins on some level.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was, for me, was a big key in weight loss, was detoxing all these obesogenic chemicals and hormone disrupting chemicals in an infrared sauna. And that was a big breakthrough for me, but it doesn't happen overnight. You're not going to just snap your fingers and detox for a couple of weeks and lose weight. You know, it's definitely a long-term process for sure.
Right. Which is what you should want, with our friends here on this call should really want, because when you do it the right way, when you lose weight safely and you do it in the right way, what's so beautiful about that is you never have to worry about it again. You get to spend all that energy and that time and all that money that you're putting into your weight loss. You actually get to put that into other aspects of your life. Like when women go through our initial program, which is called Perfect Health Mastery, we then move them into a different program because they now have a foundation under their feet that they can now think in different ways that they've never even thought of before. Like they can't even wrap their mind around it yet, because when they're first starting the journey, they don't have the tools and strategies to do much more than be in diet mentality, which is restriction, deprivation, I'm not good enough, I can't believe I gained 2 pounds this week. Or it's like scarcity mindset and diet mentality are the same thing. So we get the foundation under their feet with Perfect Health Mastery so we can help them think a totally different way and be in their life, be in the world in a totally different way. And then what happens is we move them to the next level where they start creating this insane life because now they can think bigger and clearer. And it's awesome. Oftentimes what they do is they start to go out in the world and help other people with this and create some type of lifestyle with it or income or whatever. Not all of them, but it's really cool to see.
Yeah, and it's amazing that you have this kind of Perfect Health Mastery program, and then people have something they can go to for the next level, kind of a maintenance aspect. So what are you focusing on with your business in the near future? How are you going to help your clients in the near future?
Well, really exciting is we are launching our first annual event. It's a 3-day event called the Believe event, and I am about to explode. I'm so excited. So this first year, it's going to be in December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in San Diego. And this will be the event that we grow every single year. But what we want to do is we want to bring together at least 100 women that are going to be with me live, and I'm going to set them up to cruise through the holidays and to really get strong and centered moving into the new year. And 3 days live with me, as you can tell, is a lot of information, and it really is life-changing. And it's special because the other women that are going to be there are going to be super focused on their transformation. So that's what we're focusing on right now. We just filled another Perfect Health Mastery group, so the doors are closing on that, and then we're gearing up for this 3-day event, the Believe event, which if anybody is interested in seeing if they can be one of those 100 women, they can just email support@kerrytepedino.com. And we can help you out.
Well, Kerry, tell the listeners where they can find you and learn more about you and your programs.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Wen. So if everybody wants to go to www.kerrytepedino.com, and then you can start the 7-day weight loss video series.
Well, Kerry, thank you so much for contributing your expertise to the Medicinal Supplement Summit. I appreciate it so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me. It's so fun.
And everyone, thank you again for listening to another bonus talk, a free talk on the Medicinal Supplement Summit. 2/3 of the U.S. population is overweight, contributing to so many health conditions. And we absolutely need natural solutions to these big problems that take lives every day and rob us of our of quality of life. And it's important to learn these tips to lose weight, to live a long, healthy life. These need to be practiced on a regular basis, not just until you reach your goal weight. If you enjoyed this talk, please enjoy 36 more talks of the experts I have had on the Medicinal Supplement Summit. You can purchase it, and we discuss every aspect of supplementation, how to take supplements properly, what ingredients to avoid, the best testing to customize supplements to your body. It's all covered on the Medicinal Supplement Summit. Thank you so much for listening again. My name is Wendy Myers, and my hope is that you experience the health that you deserve. And that all begins with taking the right supplements for you.